I always thought if I was fortunate enough to be able to teach full-time, I would want to expose students to the real world and the real construction process. So shortly after I started at IUPUI, I was given an opportunity with this community partner to work for a safe shelter in Swaziland. The opportunity to travel with students is something that I just have a passion for. And the reason for that is I know how it's positively impacted my life.
Beth had connections with this company in town called SOHO, which stands for Saving Orphans Through Healthcare and Outreach. And I think they kind of discussed about an opportunity for our design program to link with them and build a safe house for girls over there in their country.
We went into what kind of project we would be working on, and we all had our own opportunity to go through and kind of design the way we wanted to. We had to do like an investigation into like different kinds of sustainable materials.
All along we had been trying to get a trip planned to Swaziland to actually go and see the culture and see the people that we were designing for in Beth's class. And she worked on me a long time to get me to say yes to that opportunity.
It boiled down to, with finances, to build a house for a woman and her 3 kids.
I actually had a student, when they were tasked with designing the safe house, come across this technology called earth bags.
Over there we used earth bags made from polypropylene material, and we filled it with dirt, sand, concrete mixture, and water, and that is ecologically friendly.
This way we were able to use resources that were in Swaziland, part of the earth, and we didn't really leave a big carbon footprint behind.
I would have never thought to use an earth bag or sand or like the ground specifically as a building material. You think of lumber, you think of cement. And this is something you can dig up out of your own backyard.
So I always tell a student, you can be the best designer in the world, but if you don't understand how something gets built, it's not going to be realized.
I believe that this Swaziland trip helped me realize what really goes into a project in the construction industry.
This project helped my creativity by just making me think outside of the box more.
We had to be very creative about the design of the structure, including the exterior and the interior design of it.
When we got there, we were kind of shocked as how much surveying of the land we had to do before we could actually even construct the building.
We had to start with designing a building, and then taking that design to a job site, and then thinking on our feet when problems came up.
When they started realizing what it took to get to something built and what kind of detail was required, I feel like it changed the way they did the design, and it changed the way they did their drawings for the better. Just that realization of there are real constraints of time and money and space and equipment that they often don't think about in the classroom.
We got to see that some things don't always turn out how we envision them to. Things don't always go to plan. And that was a really good lesson to be learned for the real world for after we graduate.
And that's one of the things that we learned while we were there, that you can minimalize your design down to being very simplistic and very focused on how the person that's using the space is going to function in that space, and that really dictates the design.
I think implementing what we did in this project has really helped me with my creativity in the construction industry.
We were on a strict budget. It had to be certain materials and it had to get done on a specific date. So I think that has definitely helped me and made me think differently whenever I design.
I really believe that exposing them from the beginning to the end of a design project really allows them to understand that there are real constraints in the design industry. And instead of being afraid that they can't handle that, teaching them how to work with those constraints. And I really believe that that fosters their creativity in a really feasible way. And as a result, really prepares them to be great design professionals one day.
Beth has a really unique leadership style. She will get you thinking in the right direction, but she really resists the temptation to tell you exactly what to do. For me, that was the perfect style of teaching. It's like, give me a little spark and send me in the right direction, and then let my mind unfold and come up with the answer to that.
It has changed me as a designer. I've learned about not only the design process like we learn in school, but I've learned about the construction process and how it changes every step of the way.
Without this opportunity that Beth gave me, I would have never heard of earth bag design. I would have never seen that side of construction, the actual LEED green design, and I'm very grateful that I was able to have that opportunity.
You can sit in a classroom and read a textbook and learn, and you can learn how to design, but until you're out there like physically working on something on the field, I didn't have that experience. I don't have that knowledge that going out on a site was.
And not only did I learn about different cultures and the ways that people are different, but I learned how to think creatively. I learned how to use what we have available and come up with a design solution. You don't have to have all these fancy things. You can simplify and get down to what we really need and make it happen.
Getting that entire vision of a student's progress is something really rewarding and fulfilling to me. I think that was one of the biggest takeaways is realizing them having the confidence to realize that they had these design skills that they could put into practice without some sort of hard line assignment was really neat to see. And that to me is the design process.